Hi, how are you today? Happy Monday. Another just manic Monday over here. No, just kidding. It was not a manic Monday whatsoever. But I have like some really exciting like personal news. So like I keep preaching these things and it's like super important for me to have like validation of like this works. What I'm doing is working. And so this morning, like last night, I didn't get really good sleep. I think because I drank caffeine and it was like a long day of dancing and like I have like a lot of things kind of like exciting things like flowing through my mind. And so like I just didn't sleep super well. And then like I've had this like injury in my arm or shoulder. I don't even know really what it is, but like I cannot sleep on my left side and I like to sleep on my like I rotate throughout the night from side to side. And if I go to sleep on my left side, like if I roll over in my sleep and like I'll try to like make a barrier. So I'll have all these like pillows and blankets, like do not roll over. And still somehow I manage to like roll over and I'll wake up and my whole like arm is asleep. And so it's like I want blood and you are cutting off my circulation here or something. So with whatever is going on with my arm, but I think it's getting better-ish. If not, I have an appointment in March to go to the doctor's, whatever. So we'll TBD on that thing. So anyways, like I didn't sleep super well. And then for some reason, my son, when he texts, we don't know what we did or how we did this because it's only him. And like we have looked at everybody else's phones and they are all the same settings. So like I have emergency bypass on and stuff like that. But for some reason, like it doesn't matter if I'm on do not disturb, if I have it on ringers off, it'll still text whatever hour of the night or day it is. In a class, it doesn't matter. But I'm like, well, I guess it's good because in case of an emergency, he can just, reach out and I'll actually get it. But yesterday I was like, okay, like you have to go to school tomorrow. And like I didn't get a response from it. And I was like, here we go. And I was like, oh, hey, you never responded to my text. And he's like, well, what am I supposed to say? I'm like, oh, I don't know, a thumbs up or anything. And he's like, whatever. So here he comes this morning. I get a text and I was still just like laying in bed and like just doing my own like an intentions thing. And I know why I'm getting a text because I haven't touched my phone yet. So my ringers aren't on. And I just know it's coming. And so I'm already starting to feel frustrated, right? I'm like, this kid, I already told him, that he has to go to school tomorrow, so I'm totally like reading minds, but I know what it's going to say. And it was like, my throat hurts. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it really hurts so bad. Like, can I just go to school tomorrow? And I was like, no, I told you yesterday you're going to go to school tomorrow. And you're the one who decided to be up past midnight. I told you a couple times, like, you're going to school tomorrow. So, you got to go. And he was like, but it hurts. Like, I don't know how. And I'm like, no, you are going. And he keeps pressing. And I start to feel like really anxious. And I start like, not anxious, but I start to like feel like I am feeling feels inside. Like I'm conflicted, right? So it's like I made a decision. I said, you're going to school. And then like I'm feeling conflict because I'm like, well, what if he really isn't feeling well? And I'm making him go to school and da 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 da. And so I'm conflicted inside. It's like I know what I want to do and I know what I'm saying to do, but he's a teenage boy and he is flexing his ability to try to negotiate or get a different outcome than he's getting. And so he keeps texting. And I'm realizing I'm starting to get elevated. And he was like, well, how am I supposed to talk? And I'm like, well, it's a good thing you're in school. Just go and learn and listen today. And then I was like, you have to go to school. You can go and try. If it doesn't feel well and you come home, then just know you are not going to practice tonight. There is no soccer practice for you tonight. And it's like his last week of high school soccer. So I think, it's important for him to be able to play in these games. And if he isn't going to the practice, he's not going to play much. So, he keeps trying to push it. And I'm like, no, you're not going to not go to school and then go to soccer. So it's like either one, like, no more. And he keeps coming at me, and I notice I'm starting to get elevated, and I like even more than like where I was at that thing. And I just was honest, and I said, hey, Tyler, I'm feeling a little dysregulated right now, and I can't have this conversation right now. And I was like super proud of myself, because, and I don't think I've never responded like to him in this manner. And so he didn't know how to respond. And then in that time, like, you know, he didn't know what to say, right? So in that time, I called Chris and I said, hey, here's the situation I'm dealing with. I would like you to please take over if you can. Get a flashlight and look in the back of his throat and make sure there isn't any white spots, or, you know, it's not like fire red. And yeah, he needs to go to school. And here are the condition thing. Here's what I'm saying. If he doesn't go to school, he's not going to go to practice. And if he doesn't go to practice, he's not going to play in the games. And that's just the way it's going to be. So, and I was calm, and Chris was like, well, what do you want me to do? And that, like I said, I explained what I wanted him to do. And he said, okay. And he's like, well, I do hear movement up there. So, you know, I think he's, you know, moving around. I'm like, okay, good. So then Tyler texts me again, and he says, whatever, like, it really hurts. I gargled. I did this, and it still hurts. And, you know, can I just have one more day? And I just said, Tyler, I am what is called flooded right now. I am not capable of having a productive conversation with you. Can you please respect what I'm saying? And I just can't talk right now. Please refer to Dad. And then he was like, well, what is Dad going to do? I'm like, Dad is aware of the situation, and he will communicate with you on this further. And then he didn't, you know, he didn't contact me anymore. But I was so freaking proud, because, like, you know how I was talking about, you know, the little flip-off incident a couple days ago. Well, it's like, yeah, I didn't behave the way I wanted to. That is not who I want to represent myself as. That is the Natasha of yesterday, even if it was just 2 days ago. And, you know, who I am now, that does not represent who I am. And that does not represent the choices I want to be making, even then and going forward. And so, like, I was there and I was like, yeah, like, I was frustrated still. I still felt like, you know, like, the anxiety and then the worry, like, oh my gosh, wonder if I'm, you know, sending him, and, you know, he really isn't feeling well, and all these things. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, and I got the courage to stick to my decision. I had the courage to express what was going on with me and establish a boundary and enforced it. And I was just like, like in bed, like, you know, like a little kid, like I was so excited, like kicking my feet and my arms, like, yes, I did it. Like those freezing butt cold showers, like, that never get easier. And like, it's not like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. Like, no, they're torture every time still. But like, I keep telling myself, like, I'm doing a daily dose of dysregulation. So when this happens in reality and unexpected things dysregulate you, big or small, you can go back to your breaths. You can go back and breathe. You can go back and say, okay, like, you are feeling all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean you need to react a certain way based on how you're feeling. Like, you can choose how you behave and how you react. And so I was like, yay, it worked today. And like, my whole goal is just to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. And I would say that was a whole lot better. I was so excited. I literally, it made my morning. I was like, yes, awesome. He went to school. He stayed at school the full day. I picked him up from school. He still loves me. And, you know, we didn't chat about that incident. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him a minute. We'll talk about it. We'll circle it back, because I want him to understand that I am now like this, you know, I was getting to a point where I was going to like either yell at him or be like, you know, like say something. I don't usually say over text, like anything I don't mean to say, but I could tell this was the time that I needed to step out of this conversation. It was no longer healthy for me, and it was no longer going to be productive. And so I did it. And it doesn't mean I'm going to do it again tomorrow, but I'm going to try. But like, just as I get that practice, it was like, you know, you've been practicing and you make these choices to, like, what do I say? Use the left hand and my right hand was in there ready to go. And I was like, no, we don't need you today. Hold on. We're going to try it this way. And I was like, yes. So like, I'm so grateful for like this journey and this like realization. It just doesn't have to be the way it's always been. It can be different, and I can craft the life that I want to live. That I feel good about that. I don't have a single ounce of remorse about anything I said or did in that conversation. I feel absolutely wonderful about it. So that was super exciting for me. And I think it's like, it's just such like a big part of like, you know, the thing. It's like, I can't even be mad at myself about my mistakes I made before. Like, say we can take off the flipping off incident. Like, I can't be mad at that because that's just a huge lesson. It wasn't like Chris made me do it. Like, that blame was all on me. I decided to act that way. I did not need to respond. And if I did respond, I didn't with my words, and I didn't have to do it that way. And so there was just no need. Like, and so now, hopefully, if I ever find myself in those kind of situations again, I can go back to not even the cold shower. I can go back to this incident, and I can't repair what I've done in the past, but I can sure as heck do it better going forward. And when I get these little extra tests in life that are unforeseen, right? Like, it gives you a chance to be like, oh, I do know this material. I do know I do have these other tools I can try and see if they work. And maybe they don't. And maybe I would have felt like crummy after, and I'd be like, okay, back to the drawing board. What else can we try here? And, seek out resources and find, what do other people try in this situation? What do other people do? Like, is there something that will inspire me? Like, and say, oh, I never thought about doing that. Like with the meditating. Oh, I never thought about setting a timer, or not setting. I didn't want a timer because it just seems so like abrupt ending to it. Like, but by putting on a 5-minute song, well, there you go. There's your time. And then, like I said, so after that, I ended up, doing my little morning routine, and I took my shower and I did my cold shower, and I was like, see, this is all worth it. It was like, it wasn't like I enjoyed it, but I was like, it is worth it. And, yeah, like, I don't know. So like that was that. And then I did my meditation, but I was like, you know what? After the morning, I am going to give myself a little bit extra. And I've been wanting more than the 5 minutes. So I did it to 10 this morning because I had the time for that. And it was like really important for me to do that. And then, I think I still even like snuck in 3 more minutes afterwards. I was like, okay, one more song. It just felt so good just to be in the quiet and kind of listen to like, what like naturally like is coming up. What are the, like, what's the theme of the things, like when I'm trying to sit there and quiet, and the things that keep popping in, it was like, is there a theme to like what's coming up? And like today the theme was like, and I don't know if it's always, because it was just like kind of like my intention was to kind of like pay attention to like, well, what is it? Like, is it like, oh, I like this song? Like, what are the thoughts that are popping in? Like, my foot is asleep. What, where are we going? Am I breathing right? What's the question? It was just like, and what kept continually coming up, it was just like, the to-dos, like, what other things do I have to do today? What other things do I have to do tomorrow or the next day? And what other things are like needed of me that are pressing and need to be put on a calendar so the to-do gets done soon. And it's like, there's so many things, like I say, like, and then my brain gets so excited about like certain things, and like, but then it's like, I have all these other things going on that I need to get done. And it's just really tough, like sometimes, because it's just so many things, and like, and it doesn't seem like it's not that hard, right? Like I'm just integrating some more things into my life, but like the more I integrate, the like I'm putting, and it's a different kind of thing, because I'm putting on more responsibility on myself. Like, they are my responsibilities, instead of taking like Karina, Bradley, Dylan, and Tyler's, or Chris's, or Joe across the street's responsibilities and making them mine. So like, I have there's no, and I don't like resent them most times, but I know that there are times when I'm still working and I haven't stopped and I haven't done my things and I'm still working on things for you, or like with you, not so bad. For you, definitely gets like, it gets like, hey, I'm doing, like, that's when I start to feel like a little bit like used, taken advantage of, you know, all those things. So like, it's nice that like I have just as much responsibility and things. I'm just now delegating their stuff more back to them, and or they're just getting older and certain things are just not needed of me. And I'm not voluntarily taking on more, you know, like I'm like, hey, yeah, I need help in these areas. And, you know, instead of putting all this pressure on myself to say like, okay, Monday, because like, I don't know, it's probably been a year now. Like I was just like, Chris, I can't be the one responsible for all the cooking, cleaning, shopping, and everything of the food. Like, I get it. And some days, like, you're super busy. And so I get that you're not gonna be able to cook. And like, you know, some of my kids, aka Dylan, like thinks every, you know, meal needs to be a 10. And I put all this pressure on myself. And like, I was spending hours in the kitchen. And it was at a time when like, I'm really trying to establish like healthy goals and healthy eating patterns and healthy choices for myself. And, you know, like, I feel conflicted because it's like, I want them to eat good. I don't like eating out, and I want them to eat healthy and, you know, like nutritious stuff. But just sometimes like, I am not a chef. I never wanted to be a chef, and it's hard to cook for 6 people. And then I always cook more because I want leftovers. Because if you're spending this much time cooking, spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes and now you got 2 meals out of it. But, yeah, so it's like, but it's a time hog. Like, usually I end up going to Costco's on certain Mondays and things like that. Like, not having to go today, like, just freed up so much time, like, you know, just by driving there, by, you know, all that stuff. So it's really, yeah. So communicating those things and delegating those things. Like tonight was my cooking night. And like I said, I woke up this morning. So that happened. I did my meditation, but I just kind of was feeling really like just off, like in the fact, like I just couldn't get it together. It's kind of like just feeling kind of tired. Like my brain, I've had like a dull headache all day. And I just like was like, my body, maybe it needs rest, but I was like not tired. So I was just kind of like, oh, I'm a little bit struggling here. Like, I don't know if it was just I did so much yesterday, or like Friday went out and ate with a friend. Like, just my eating was off all week. I drank caffeine yesterday. And like one of them was like I don't know, my friend gave me some kind of interesting drink, and it was like, you know, like one of those canned sweet, but no sugar. I don't know what they're called. X's, I think it was called. I don't know. So it was like, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I didn't, you know, and so maybe it's a different kind of caffeine than my body's accustomed to. But nonetheless, I don't know what it was. I'm trying to like research, because, you know, like search back and be like, oh, is there a pattern? Is there something here specifically? Just because I didn't like the way I felt today. And it was like, I still did my stuff, but it was just like, I think I just needed a little bit of nurturing, and I hadn't really had any time off or days off at all. It seemed like this weekend, it was kind of like go, 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 to like from morning till night. So it was like definitely a lot more low key. You know, I didn't have any plans to be anywhere outside of the house. So it really got me to like be able to like do certain things. And I just was kind of like I think I was just also like kind of feeling calm. I did my meditation, perhaps for me, like it would be better, like wake up, meditate, then shower. Cause like my cold shower gets me going, where the meditation kind of like, you know, gets me more introspective and a little bit more at peace, versus like, okay, we're ready to go. Like I need my hype. My cold shower will get me, you know, hyped up and ready to go. So yeah, I got to play with it, because it's, you know, it's a new, you know, hopeful, you know, consistent, disciplined habit I'm going to have for the rest of my life. So I just have to see how it works for me and where it works in on my life. But anyways, I say all that to say, I was kind of in a mood too, where it was just like, I just wanted to cleanse. I just wanted to feel fresh. I wanted to clean. I, did some more vacuuming. I, wanted to clean all the bathrooms, like, and just rid of all evidence that I live in a house full of boys. Instead of like, when I walk in the bathroom, I'm like, oh, I gotta clean it. Like certain things that I am like, I just wanted those little things. Like I needed small wins that weren't going to take a lot of time, that like I could walk in the bathroom and it smells so clean and fresh and looks great. And I'm like, yes, perfect. Like I needed those small wins. And then, having like, clean up some of the stuff in the boys' room, like bathrooms and stuff like that. Cause I just wanted a real, actual good clean. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm like reading. I had a notification. I'm sure you're like, what? I had like a notification coming. It was not that important, but I thought it was like, you have to come pick up your kid because my kid isn't here right now. So I had to make sure that that wasn't it. So, cause I'm always on call regardless. Right. But, I needed like small wins that like weren't going to take a lot of mental energy, but yet still would be rewarding. So like, scrubbing the sink, scrubbing the bathroom. And I don't like cleaning. I'm not like OCD or anything like that, but I like it clean. And so I clean. And, hopefully soon one day I would just want like a housekeeper to come in and like, just do like kind of like a couple times a month, like but yeah. So that's on that one day, one day. But I do like to like just keep things tidy myself, like I like my area to be clean. And, I also like to do like today, what was like also in like thing is like my uncle had once taught me like, or asked me the question, like, do your belongings own you or do you own them? And I think I've talked about this. If not, I'm going to say it again. And I was like, duh, I always have to question because his stuff, he was so out there and I'm like getting it now. And I'm like so bummed that he isn't here to like, there's so many times that I just want to call him and be like, did you hear of this person? I know you probably did. Or, just to chat and be like, hey, look at this. And yeah, oh my gosh, he would be so proud of me. I could just hear his like, Natasha, like he was so loving of me. Like every morning he would give me a call, like, good morning, like just, yeah. So I definitely miss him, but, it would have been he would be so freaking proud of me right now. I mean, I can't even like say like the transformation, and he is such a huge part of it. Like, he was my OG numero uno mentor when it came to all this stuff for like so many years. When I was a kid, he was just this, the words that he chose were so above me, and I just didn't know what he was saying or talking about. It just, the concepts seemed so far out that I was just like, what? Like, this guy is tripping. Like, what is he saying? I don't even know. Like, and now it's like, oh my God, like you knew everything. And had I listened and been able to understand and like my brain like could grasp what you were saying in my heart, heck, my life would have been so much easier. But that wasn't my time and that wasn't my place. So I'm here now. And I know wherever he is out there flying around, he is super proud of me. Like I know that. So anyways, I got on my uncle a little tangent here. I know, and I don't even remember why. Why do I do this? Okay, so at 9 o'clock, he would call me. I'm trying to like rewind the tape and be like, where was I? Oh, I see. It just takes me a minute. Gotta rewind the tape and then get back to where I was. Okay. And for you kids out there that don't know what a tape is, it's like this thing, you guys just gonna push play on your music. No, we had to rewind it. And so I found the spot. So, oh my gosh, did I lose it again? Yes. No, I didn't. I did lose it, but I got it back real quick this time. Okay. So then I was in the bathroom and while I was cleaning and I'm like, what is this bottle here? Like, I have not used this cream in a year or two, maybe 3. I don't even know. But I'm like, goodbye. Like, this thing is no longer like spark and joy. And so my grandpa, my uncle used to, he would ask me that question, like, do you own your things or do they own you? And of course I was like, I own this, like, this is mine. And he was like, really, like, and then tested me to be like, okay, like, do you provide it shelter? Yes. I mean, technically, and does it take up space? And do you have to worry about like what you're going to do with it and where you're going to put it? So I was like, that like kind of opened my mind. And then he was into this, it was all this one book by a Japanese author. I forget his name, but he was Goodbye Things. He wrote, which later on came out the Spark Joy Kondo lady. And so like, I just put all those together and I'm like, okay, I looked at the lotion and I was like, okay, do you own me or do I own you? And I'm like, right now you own me. And then I was like, I asked the question. I was like, are you sparking any joy in me? And I said no. And I said, I don't even think you ever spark joy. Otherwise this bottle would not be filled. And so I was like, okay, then it's time to say goodbye thing. And yeah, it's gone. And so I went through and I did that with a bunch of things and just kind of reorganized things. And I was like, see, this is better. Like, I felt like just a nice, peaceful aesthetic, and it wasn't cluttered, and like it just freed my mind. So like every time I walked in the bathroom today, I was like, yay, it looks so good. Like it now sparked joy. So I get it. And then yeah, so I did all that. And then I just was kind of like, oh my gosh, like I still feel like I have all these things I need to get done that like take some mental energy, and I just was not having it. So I was like, it is 11:30 right now. I am going to eat. I'm going to break my fast early. Like, I know that I just had this weekend where I ate all kind of different times and things like that and different kind of foods. I was like, but I feel hungry and my brain feels like in a fog. Like I'm not going to sit here and deprive myself until 1 o'clock and feel hungry and lag down. So maybe if I eat and like really nurture myself, like that will give me some energy. And I ate and I enjoyed my food. But then I was like, sleepy. It didn't energize me. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna, after I ate, I was like, I went upstairs and it was like a really nice day today. It was like a lovely, like winter, sunny, warm day that was like almost like a spring. And so I like went and there was this like part of my bed that the sun was like shining on. And I'm like, I'm just gonna lay here, like lay in the sun and let it just hit me for a few minutes. And I laid there like a dang cat. I swear, I was just laying there. And the next thing you know, I had just kind of like drifted off. And I don't know if I ever really fell asleep, but I just was like so relaxed. I wasn't worrying about anything I needed to do or wanted to do. It was just in the frickin' moment. Everything else could wait. So I laid there for a little bit. And then once I got up, I still had this stinking headache. And so I actually even just like was like, I still don't think I could sit here and like be on the computer and all that stuff. So I found this like neck massager thing, plugged that baby in, and I was like, okay, maybe it's like tension. Maybe it like slept weird or from the exercise. So I did the little neck massage thing, and that like felt like, oh, heaven. And then I had to go pick up Tyler, and I left a little bit early and just listened to some of my audiobook in there. And which this one I like. It's interesting. It's different. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like almost like listing things. It's different, but I'm liking it. It's not taking a lot of mental energy from me at all. So I appreciate that. But I'll be like, oh, that was cool. That was a cool thought. I didn't think about things that way. And got Tyler. And then I was like, sitting in my car and I'm looking around. I'm like, how does this happen? Like at what point does like the like my receipts, like how does my center console become like a receipt dumping ground? So it was like, and then I'm like, I opened up and I'm like, why is there this stuff in here? Like, so I did like a full like purge of my car, which felt really good. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Like, got everything like purged out I didn't need. I had like 55 tampons in there. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, I'm gonna bleed out for the rest of my life to use this many. Like, we don't need 55 of them here in the car. It was so ridiculous. So I was like, get these out of here. Your couple is fine. That covers me and any random person who needs some. We are going to be okay. Or there's a freaking store down the street. It's going to be all right. But I got all that settled, and like, it just felt so nice. I was like, it looks so like, I don't feel like when I get in my car now, like stressed, like I need to move this receipt. I need to go put this here. Like everything got back in its place. And then I stumbled on something in my center console, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I just don't think that there's like coincidences, you know? Like, I think that like certain things are like meant to happen and meant to be. And so I almost forgot about this, but so I'm looking in my center console and I find this and I get like a big smile because I know what's in here. So one time I went to my uncle's house and he was like very sweet about this stuff too. And so perhaps this is where my belief came from. Like, I swear he would get messages from my auntie, like from the other side. Like it would be like a random day and he would like go up to her office. Like he would just have this like desire to go up there and then open this thing. And it would be like a single, you know, like the small, I think they were called 45s. I don't know. So like a record, but smaller version ones. And then it would be like, the like thing on it would be like, I love you, my darling, now and forever or something. And it was just like, they were like little messages from beyond. So one time I went over and he went upstairs and he was like, I have something for you. And this is from Auntie Betty. And this is after my aunt passed. I probably should be clear about what I'm talking about. So it was his wife. And he's like, I found this and I just know it's for you. And I was like, okay, how sweet. So it was this. And then in it was this lovely stone and it had like some, so cute, right? And then on this side it said love, which is backwards here. But then it had this like whole little, I don't know, like thing in it. And so like, I was like, oh, that was really sweet. Right. And so I got it and I had left it in my car. Like he was saying, you know, it'll give you good luck. It'll give you a good thing. And I kind of saw it and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just put it in my car. And whenever I've cleaned out my car, I've saw it again. But this time when I saw it, I was like, it made sense. It was like, you know how sometimes like something, it's like, you're just not ready to hear it. You're not ready to apply it. You're just not ready for it yet. Like some messages, like some things I've learned in books or from other people, I just wasn't ready yet. But like now I'm open and ready. And when I saw it today, I was like, oh, immediately before I even reread what the paper said and everything, I'm like, you're coming in with me. Like you're coming in with me. And what I realized, like, for me, like, why it's so important, because I am in this, like, the season of Natasha, right? Is, like, this love, like, not only does it represent the love from, like, my aunt and my family and everything, is, like, this love is, like, a representation that, like, for me, for, like, right now, and a reminder, like, that I love myself. And I know that that sounds so freaking weird, especially for me, because I did not love myself for so many years. Like, and as a result, like my biggest thing when I was a little kid, all the time, if anybody ever would say, like, if I was ever feeling vulnerable and like actually like talked about my emotions or anything, or was upset, like, I remember this many times, like with my grandma and even to like my dad, my mom, like anybody, it was like, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Nobody. And I would just say that all the time. And I remember like a year ago, maybe it was 2, I don't know, but within this journey, and I say this journey, and that means like me starting in, 2020, even though that this journey has actually began from the day I was born, but like this phase of the journey, I say, like, is when I realized, it's when I felt, when I experienced like the love for myself. It was the love I was craving all along. And I can't be nobody and still be somebody at the same time. So it cannot be true that nobody loves me, because I love me. So even if there's only one person in that world and that one person is me, it still counts. Somebody loves me and it's me. But like, I actually love myself. Not like I love myself, but no, but I love myself. Like I do. And I didn't know like that was possible. I didn't know that that wasn't frowned upon. Like, ugh, she just loves her. You know, like I had no idea. And I had no idea that that love that I sought, that love I needed, was inside of me all along. And it's inside of you too. Like, it is so, like, for me, like, it is so huge. Like, I feel like that's like almost like a step number, like way high up. One is like learn how to love yourself. But it's like, oh, what do you say? Is there not like a textbook, like how to love myself? You know, number one, you know, give myself self-care. Number two, don't abuse yourself mentally. Like, number three, believe you are good enough. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a book there or something, but like, there isn't like a class like how to love yourself. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I mean, I would imagine that I'm not the only person out there that, you know, didn't love themselves or doesn't, like, you know. And it almost still, like, even though I do, but I almost feel like it's like almost awkward to say, like, it's like, you know, like, I feel like it's not the norm, you know, like, you know, to get it, like, if, you know, like, I'm like, you know, like, like, it still makes me kind of nervous to like say, because I'm confident in my love for myself, but I'm not necessarily confident in about talking about the love of myself, you know. And it's not like I'm writing myself love notes or something, but it's just this sense of like completion inside. It's like I want love from other people, but it's not this expectation that like it is Chris's or my kids or anybody else's job or responsibility to love me, because I actually already have enough love like inside. Like, everything else is just a cherry on top. Like, anybody, like the love from my parents, even the love from my siblings, the love from my children, the love from my spouse, the love from my friends, like, that is all a bonus. Like, that is lucky. That is, I am a privileged woman to have those experiences and that come to me. But I have everything I want in the love department. So from myself, you know, like at this stage in my Natasha season, that is what is important to me. And to say that, like, and to give myself, like, to love myself in the same manner that I love my kids is remarkable. I mean, it really is. And so just showing up and the little ways that I can show up and be kind to myself. If I am hungry and I need to break fast at 11:30 and I think maybe this will help me to feel a little bit better, then I'm going to do that because I love myself. If going out and dancing is going to make me, I'm going to do that. If meditating 13 minutes, if whatever it is, I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to keep this with me. I didn't fully read this thing because I was in cleaning mode. So I've got the front and back to reread. But it did say something about, like, you know, carrying it with you and like that, like about stones and carrying power. I'm not into all that. Like, I don't have crystals around or all that. But like, for some reason today, when I found this, I was like, you're coming out of the car and you're coming with me. Like, I'm going to put you in my bag or somewhere that I'm closer with, as just a reminder, a beautiful little reminder. Number one, the gift from my auntie And then number two is just a reminder that like I have come full circle. And when I was given this, I did not love myself. And so like to know that in a matter of even a couple of years that I can learn to love myself and treat myself with kindness and grace when I fall on my face, is just so liberating. It's so kind to myself. And I think that there's something there. And I hope that you, like either already know this experience, or if you were like me in 2020 and you were really mean to yourself sometimes, or didn't feel worthy of love, or thought that your love was measured by how much you did for other people or how much you sacrificed. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm not saying you come out here and you're perfect, because obviously I'm cleaning toilets still. Okay. In my perfect world, my toilets are clean and they're not cleaned by me. But that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough. Like, this is enough for me. Like, I always want more. I am a type of person who I am not very like content, because I want to keep growing and I want to keep evolving. And so I always think in my mind, there's some room for improvement. There's room to be better than yesterday. I mean, there's some things like, I did send my donation. I want to let you guys know to the lovely family that is opening up their own bakery, and I am absolutely in love with. I cannot wait till the bakery opens, because I am going to share with you my favorite thing on earth is this cake. It is like, I mean, it literally brings, okay, here we are. Okay. It brings tears to my eyes. It is so freaking good. I literally like take a bite and I'm like, yeah, I could die and I would be happy. Like, I love myself. And I don't put like milk in it, but maybe if I had my Tomo blung out sparkly cup with it too, that would be great. And my thing, and then I would. So, but like, no, I'm joking. I don't want to die eating cake, but I wouldn't mind. No, I just love it. So I was able to send a very nice note, and I send her some money to hopefully help them to get their, last little bits of their shop, done. It's not much, but it's what I could do. And I can't wait to went through and I found some of my pictures because of course I took pictures of this delicious treat of mine. And so I want to send out a super awesome review and, include pictures and things like that, because I really hope that her business succeeds. And if she puts as much passion and energy into the cakes that she makes into this business, which her and her family already are, I see wonderful things in her future. So Simone, good luck to you. I adore you and your cute little family. So yeah. Anyways, I know I already talked about that, but I want to, I am a person of my word. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, if I sent the intention to do it, I'm going to do it. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys know to be that, hold yourself accountable. And it doesn't have to be big things. Remember, start small, do small and consistent. That is the key. Have that discipline. And you wonder, I'm sure you wonder, why is this lady so crazy? Why is she doing, right now I've been doing, I was at 15, I'm at 20K a day. And I question myself sometimes, why, like today, I didn't have to get out of bed. I told you I didn't have a specific place I needed to be until it was time to pick up Tyler from school. And so everything else I did was by my own choice, by my own responsibilities, by my own whatever. But I did, right? So why? If you're feeling tired or you're feeling all these things, why do you do it? Because I worked really hard not to be who I was before. It's not, she was a bad person, she wasn't out there hurting people. She just wasn't who I want to be today anymore. Like who I work really hard at being better than. And it wasn't that she was trying to not, like she was working hard to be better too. She was better than, what she had been before. So like I do all that because it keeps me going. It keeps the momentum moving forward. It keeps me on track, and then it pays off, right? You have these gifts like from the universe, from your past, from your family that you can take as like, this was a loving gift. My uncle could have found this and it said love and assumed it was for him because they were the love of each other's lives. But he knew for some reason this was meant for me. And I didn't understand it at the time. And while I thought it was lovely and a lovely gesture, I didn't understand it. And then it was like all of that had led up to today, where it finally, in my car, in the sun, cleaning things out, it made all the sense in the world why this was for me. And I understood it now. And now it's like, not that it was important, it wasn't important to me before, but like it is now like even more precious, and it makes me think of the love my uncle had for me. Like, so this is just a lovely thing. And I don't think that there are coincidences. I think that this was the time that I was ready to receive this and understand the whole complexity of, just the stone. It's a stone, right? But I say all that to say, like, I want to be better. I want to continue to grow. I want to be able to understand like different parts of life that I didn't understand. I work really hard to make decisions that will nurture my relationships and help them to grow, like with my son today, versus, doing what I would have done in the past. Like, my older two have been like, you parent your other two kids, they're siblings, but the other two so different. And it was like, yeah, like if you went to a restaurant and you gave feedback and you said this pasta is raw, or this thing is this, or, it was bland, like it could use this. Like I took the suggestion jar and I thought about the things that I was willing to negotiate like, hey, maybe there is a different way on this. Maybe I don't have to be so strict in this area. But my non-negotiables, like, no, I'm still this way. I'm still, I get you don't like to do chores, but here are my reasons why I believe you need to do chores. Like, here are the reasons why I do, because you're a part of a community. And this right now is a little community. And when you go out in the world, you're in a big community. And you have to leave this world a better place than you came into it. And that, that is my goal for you. And that is my mission, is to teach you and inspire you, like, to do things. So like today, even my son Dylan was like, so are you, now you're a big instructor, and, like, he was like, all proud of me. And I was like, yeah. He's like, what do you think you're going to teach? And I was like, I don't know. Like I had went into it with the intention of, number one, like if January 28th, 2020, Natasha could have like time hopped for a day and went to the future and saw me, she'd be like, hell no. Like what, who, wait, where, which one, what? Come on now. There's no freaking way, right? That isn't even possible. Like, and then like to think about that, like to go back and think like, oh my gosh, like mind blown, like that transformation to like now being an instructor, and so like that, like, it's like even almost hard to say, because it's like, what? It's just, it's like, it's so new, but it's so good. And so do I want to, like I said to him, I was like, I think that there's a part of me like that definitely wants to give back. I think that there is a part of me that like I said in the room, like there were a couple instructors and they were like, you should really do it. Like you would be really good. And plus like my other friends too, they're like, you should really do it. Like you would be so good. And I think that there's parts of me, like two things. One, like I used to have this thing, like I want to go live on the cruise ship, right? I told you about that. And so I was like, well, I can go do it. I'll go be a cruise once the kids have grown, then I'll just go be a cruise ship dance instructor for, a couple of years or something like that. And then the other part of me was like, like I said, where I was like, maybe I give back by going to back where I started. Like, where did I get my start? My start was on YouTube, and it costs nobody anything. And, like, I didn't feel comfortable walking into a gym at 300 pounds. Like, heck no, I didn't even feel comfortable for my own family to come down the stairs and see a massive amounts of things that were jiggling and wiggling, you know, like they still jiggle and wiggle now, but I mean, it was unfathomable what moved. Like, there was no amount of lycra and spandex that was going to keep that stuff together. Like, it just, there wasn't. Like, I was out of breath and I was embarrassed. I was out of breath within 30 seconds. I mean, for real, I'm not even exaggerating, where it was like 2 squats in, I thought my quads and my hamstrings and my glutes were going to fall off. Like, it was really excruciating. Like, I remember almost passing out one time when I did 9 squats in a row. I was like, and it was like probably 30, 40 times. Like, I would be like, okay, here comes this part of the song. I'm going to start seeing the stars now. I'm like, hopefully I don't pass out. But like, and this was in a less than a 15-minute YouTube, because the YouTube was 15 minutes. There's commercials. And, you know, I think this was like 3/4 of the way through the thing. So we're talking, you know, I don't know, minute 9, 8, something like that. And I'm over here about to pass out from doing a couple squats. And now I'm like, it's not that I'm enjoying them, but I could go to town with them. So yeah, like, I just think that, you know, there is something there. And so, you know, it was kind of cool. And even he was like, you would be really good at it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not in the business of getting more responsibilities. And I keep giving myself more responsibilities by elevating my game. And so I'm like, I just need, I don't know, I need more time, I need more things, because all these things like are super exciting to me. And so I think that there are things there, and again, this, you know, that'll have to wait for a little bit, or maybe not, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like, as soon as I keep getting rid of other people's responsibilities, I think that there will be more time for me naturally and my own responsibilities in life and desires. But there still is a huge part of me that my number one job is being a mom. And when you're a mom, there is no shortage of responsibilities, regardless of how old your kids are, especially when they are all, you know, within the same city and, you know, house, and, you know, lots of things going on. So yeah, so like, I don't know, like, it is just pretty fun. And it's really fun to like play and like be a student of life and the universe, and literally learning so many crazy new things at like an old age and being able to like apply them. And it's not like, I wish like my kids like were in the place like when I got the stone they are right now. And sometimes there's some things, like especially certain ones, like they do get it a little bit quicker than others. But like, dang, if they would only know what I know now, like, my gosh, their life would be so much easier. And then if like whatever I'm gonna know in 20 years from now, oh my gosh, unstoppable, right? But I guess we all have our own times and things that like we are meant to learn the things and apply the things. So I just, yeah, I know that I probably should go, because that to-do list is a growing every second, and I want it to be like decreasing so that I have more time to devote to these things, these endeavors that make me smile and feel so much joy. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get to the phase 2 part of this, but I haven't skipped a date. I have been here with you guys, and you've been here with me, and I adore you for that. So thank you. And please share your stories. Your stories count. You are a star. And you are loved. And if nobody else in this world loves you, you learn how to love yourself. And I promise you, people do love you beyond just yourself. Like, I love you. Like, you are so cool. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whatever it is. I know I keep filming at night, but yeah, just go out there, be kind to yourself, do something that is gonna make you feel happy, like whatever's gonna spark joy. And if you need to relax, like relax. If you need to take a little cat nap, take a cat nap. If you need to, you know, clean a bathroom so you feel like, hey, this was a mess when I came in and now it's super clean, do that. Like, do whatever is going to make you feel happy. And it could be something little, like If you didn't make your bed, go make your bed. Like, even though you're about to go lay in it, like, do something that's going to make you feel good and that you're proud of and is like productive. You know, go give somebody, you know, I practiced my other thing too. Like, if you can go out there, like whatever you were going to tip somebody, just give them $1 more, like 5 cents more, 10 cents more. So I had an idea of what it said there to give a tip, and I gave $1 more. And I was like, okay, I just am in this generous, grateful, sharing, growing thing, and I just like literally feel the momentum. Like, I feel like that compound interest, and it's just like we're at that point where it's just multiplying rapidly. Like, you know, sometimes we don't see the results right away, but now they're like abundantly everywhere. And so I'm just gonna keep on giving because it feels so good. And if I happen to receive in return, well, isn't that a freaking bonus and a cherry on top? Like, just the same thing with the love to myself. Like, I love myself. That's great. If I receive from anybody else, it's a bonus, and I enjoy and treasure, and I'm super grateful for it. So thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow. If you have any ideas, anything you want me to share, you have any stories of your own that inspire, share them, please. So thank you so much. Bye.